Do you see any bracelet-like energy, like
Ooh, yeah.
gold bracelets, possible miniature Wynn statues? Hello, welcome back to Aceholes. I'm Nikki Limo.
And I'm Caitlin Komeski.
And we are doing our very first remote recording of a podcast.
We're in a box. We're in a box, but we're bringing the box to you.
We're your Aceholes in a box. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, though. This is our second season, I suppose. And we were talking about maybe doing things a little differently this year. We loved what we did last year, but because we're living in two different states, it was sometimes hard to coordinate the scheduling of filming in person. So we're like, should we do more remote? Should we do more sketches? Should we do more streams? We don't know. We're going to talk about that today in an episode. But as always, we like to add a challenge into our episodes. And Caitlin had the great idea of making this a get ready with me while we catch up on 2024 and talk about our goals.
Just know those Gen Z kids, they love a get ready with me video. I just we gotta capture that GenZ Market. They're watching Alex Earl and all these TikTokers, and we're gonna jump in on that.
We gotta get the GenZ Market. That is a 2024 goal. We were learning CapCut. We don't have attention spans. And what better way to not have an attention span than trying to do two things at once? A real ADHD challenge for the both of us, but we're going to do it. So excuse our bare faces for now, but also love your body. So women empowerment, and we love ourselves.
Luckily, we both have amazing skin because we take care of we have a skin
because
routine.
Of the filter that we put. Oh, because of the amazing skin. All right. So yes. Let's start off by recapping 2023 because I'm just kind of a sentimental bitch and I like to talk about the memes that we shared together. Any favorite moments of 2023?
Well, I mean, meeting you and getting to be with you, we've talked a ton on our own podcast and on other people's podcasts about our origin story of meeting at the GPI Awards, but just that night, making Berkey buy a steak when he barely knew us at that point. I loved that. Me and Melissa walking on our dirty dogs on the strip because we were not told we would have to walk a mile in our shoe choices.
Yeah, I just decided to make my feet suffer in pain.
Yes, and then somehow winding up in the Aria at the rich girl 1980s slots.
Yeah, we ended
drunk
up
Caitlin's
at the high limit slots in this weird back room that only had two slots, and it was it's almost like a closet, but it had two slot machines.
I honestly think that room exists for high rollers at the Aria to get a quickie without dirtying linens. Going up to the room, the floor people always know about that. They're like, hey, take your hoe back here to the rich girl slot machine.
Yeah, because I think there was a curtain too. Wasn't there a curtain? Did they think that was going to happen and we just were oblivious?
Yeah, were we supposed to have sex with those people? Because we didn't.
I missed that memo. We did not have sex with those people. Oops.
So, first opportunity, missed opportunity of the year, but so yeah, winning the GPI award for me was the first moment of 2022 that brings me joy to think about. How about you?
And you recently got your trophy, finally.
I did. I should grab it.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the actual award shows, they were short on the physical trophies, so they all had to share 3 that kept going around, and they were like, we'll mail you yours, and Caitlin finally got it in the mail just in time for 2023 well, I guess it's 2024, but 2023
nominations.
Yeah, the noms. Yeah, for me, for sure, starting Aceholes is completely up there for fave memories of 2023. But our show was fun, but the moments that we had that weren't recorded were some of the most hilarious moments I've ever found myself in my life. Starting with I was getting free rolled into a gold nugget, $100 buy-in by Ben's shout out, and
Yes.
and it was so you could win a WSOP seat. So if you like, it was a last longer, and if you were the one that lasted longer, then you win a WSOP seat. Spoilers: neither of us lasted very long, and we were about to go home on our merry way, and it's like 10 at night. And my tire has a flat and it was valeted. So the valet guys are like, we can't even bring you your car and it's a liability. So like you come with us and check it out. And luckily I had like a little tire thing in my trunk that like inflated it enough to get to a tire shop.
Did you even know that existed?
No, the valet people found it in my trunk. It was like underneath a board in the back. I don't know. I don't understand cars at all because, hey, I'm a stereotype female.
I'm too pretty.
I actually didn't know you're supposed to put oil in a car for the first like 2 years of driving. But that's a different story. Oopsies. Anyway, we end up in a tire shop downtown Las Vegas, like off of Fremont Street, like the somewhat seedy part of Vegas. And
yeah, if we may.
I swear to God, it was like a Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland ride with like a pirate. He's like a one-eyed, long-haired, scraggly, drunk guy with a bottle in his hand, and he doesn't speak.
Yeah, he called us putas right to our face.
Immediately, he was talking the whole time.
I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I clocked the puta.
I think it was a compliment. I think he liked us.
Yeah.
He had a scraggly dog with him too. That was just like they were just chilling in pitch darkness at this tire shop with like one light that was like flickering. And
the most unneutered scraggly dog I've ever seen. He had a massive dick and balls. This dog. I don't know if you remember.
And they were just sitting on piles of tires. I think because I'm married, I don't notice dicks as much. But yeah, like I believe Caitlin. She's always scouting.
I only have eyes for my husband's dick.
Sorry, like, don't look at dicks. German Shepherd to who? Have you met my husband? Yeah, that's what I'm about. Yeah, and so I was like, we could either get murdered or we get a new tire, and I'm okay with either at this point. I'm as long as they don't torture us, I'm fine. But it was really like not a place I ever thought we'd end up in, and we were just witnessing everything together. The guy was just mumbling the whole time. He didn't really want to help us. But then a new guy came and he ended up fixing the tire, which was pretty sick. And it was only $25, and then we went on our merry way, and that was fine. Another one was
deal, for sure.
When Adam Pliska let us into the VIP lounge at WPT. We were getting denied at the door because the guy said that we didn't win anything, and like you're only allowed to go in there if you won things from WPT. We made him check the list like a lot of times, but turns out we didn't.
We tried to claim we were some people's wives. That didn't work.
Yeah, that didn't work. And I tried to read a name off the list and say I was that person, but I guess he knew that person. So it was just like we couldn't get in. And we're like, you know what? We're like a big deal. We're going to let you know. We're going to come back and Pretty Woman you, and you're going to feel real dumb. And we were just kidding. But then we turned the corner and just happened to run into Adam Pliska. We're like, wouldn't that be funny if we just show up with him and he lets us in? So we did. And then the employee was like, what the fuck? Like, he just came back with the big boss. We're like, that's right.
We literally did. That's what happened.
Huge.
No, I mean, like, my favorite part about that moment was it was nothing we planned. Like, we were literally both playing the prime. We were on dinner break. We, like, at dinner breaks at Wynn, like, all the restaurants fill up and, like, all the snack bars have huge lines or, like, whatever. So, like, we just, like, couldn't find anywhere. And then we just wanted a place to sit. Like, we literally just wanted to sit. But even all the chair options in the hallway, like all the way snaking down to the ballroom, were all taken. And it really just started as us wanting a place to sit down to like try to get in there. And that like, it was just so very quintessential of who we are as people that both of us are just always going to say yes to the funniest option and just be like, oh yeah, like I don't even know if we premeditated it or had a powwow. We just like started doing the bit together to the guy.
And then when we walked in, we did like the whole like, oh, what should we help us to?
Oh,
We started just walking like cartoons around the whole place, and I think I took like
we like
3
touched all the
apples.
foods. Yes.
We like made sure to like play all the games too. They had like little games, and then there was a massage chair, and I took like a 30-minute massage.
Yeah, I think you're in a committed relationship with that massage chair now.
Yeah, pretty much. Which I feel bad for because like I said, I'm loyal to my husband. I don't
You're
look for
loyal to your
dicks, but
husband.
I got pretty trapped by that massage chair. And,
Yeah, you got dicked down by that massage chair.
Don't tell.
I'm sorry.
Gosh, she's gonna see this.
I think a huge highlight for me is like the sketches that we did and how we've gotten so many poker people to just like say yes to being silly. Starting off with the Godfathers with Brad and Andrew, and then we got like Matt Berkey and Lamanna to do one, and then of course like Alan Keating, who like everybody just like sees as this mysterious like figure, and I think most people that don't have the privilege of being his friend know like what a fucking loon he is, like just a silly goose. It was so fun that he just so wanted to play, and of everyone we asked, he was like the person who cared most about like rehearsing and like getting it down perfectly. Like he really wanted to do a good job, and it was so sweet.
Yeah, it was very sweet. He was the one that suggested we do like a little rehearsal run through the day before, which like even when we work with trained actors, like that no one's requesting like a rehearsal before, and half the time they're not great at winging it, and it makes the shoot day go a lot longer. But with Alan, like he kudos to him, he suggested it beforehand, and he had it nailed by the time we were shooting. Like he was very good, very professional, came ready to go right on time. I was very surprised for a poker player, especially one that's known for being very spewy and like loose and stuff. He was very like on time, prompt, got his shit together. Like I was impressed by his candor for sure. And also just like, yeah, was so thankful for everybody that was just willing to say yes right away. I don't think we really got a whole lot of people that said no when we asked if they'd like to be on the show. And
we just had people that were hard to schedule. Like we had people that wanted to do the show that we just like, it was hard to schedule them. Like Negrano's the perfect example because like whenever I'm in town, there's usually a series or something going on, and he was just like playing every day and we couldn't schedule him. But like that wasn't a no. Like I don't think we've ever gotten a straight no.
No, he wanted, he still says he's going to be on.
Negrano,
you owe us.
He wanted us.
He wants us. he wants us.
Oh, yeah. It was all over his face. Yeah, he wanted us.
He's like begging to be on the show. Okay. No. I feel really bad though because there was like one episode of our show that we lost all the audio to, and it was with Phil Galfond. And then I was so embarrassed that happened that we still haven't
told him.
We have not told him that that's why his episode didn't come out. I didn't have the heart to.
Is he just like sitting at home stewing for months? Like, I guess I'm just not good enough because we've released so many episodes since then. He's like, I guess I just wasn't funny. You're good at the bits.
The thing is like, it was such a good episode. Like, we were
oh my God,
heartbroken. Yeah. It was such a good episode. It had everything. It was funny. We had, he like threw in these recurring bits about like where he kept trying to get us to like compete with each other, basically.
And his questions were better.
Yeah, whose questions were better. Exactly. And like he would like give us positive reinforcement to the person that had the better question, but then like neg the person that didn't have as good of a question. and it was so good. And I was like so excited to release it. And then I get to the editing bay and there's just no audio. Like not the file isn't even there. Not like the audio got corrupted and like maybe there's a way to save it. No, like there's just no audio. We were using a different machine than mine from home. After that day, I only used my equipment, but we were using an older Zoom recorder, a recorder that Poker Night in America had. So, and it was one of our first recordings at the Poker Night in America mansion since we had gotten sponsored by them and we had a residency there. And so I was still getting used to their equipment. And I think you just have to press some other buttons than what I pressed. I had only used it a few times before, but one of the times during a test, there was no recording of what I did. So like, I don't know. Apparently, it was a wonky thing, and unfortunately, that was the only episode that we lost the audio to on a podcast. That was pretty important. We lose a video, fine. We have 2 other cameras, but losing an audio, there's nothing I could do about it. We also
It
played
sucked
Hot or
balls.
Not, where where we had him like say if people or things were hot or not, and that was really funny too to watch Phil Galfond do that. And I'm sure he probably would have re-recorded with us maybe, but there was no way to capture that magic again.
And we were
Like,
so humiliated. Like, I think what
yeah,
people underestimate between you and I is like we have some anxious girly tendencies.
yeah.
Like, one of my favorite memories of us is so Poker Night in America had reached out through Lexi for me to come like interview and see if I wanted to be involved in their new live streams or whatever. And I was staying with you and working on Aceholes at the time. So I just texted Todd Anderson, who's like the head of Poker Night in America, and I was like, hey, do you mind if my comedy partner Nikki comes? And he just texts back, sure. And the anxiety that Nikki and I got from that sure was like unwarranted.
Like,
we
why
were
did
like,
you just say sure? He hates me. He doesn't want me there.
I was like, I should probably just fly back to Texas, right? Like, this is really bad. This is like
We
really
should
bad.
quit poker. We should stop doing everything we're doing.
Big time.
Yeah, it's funny because like I don't think we get embarrassed by like bigger things that people tend to get embarrassed by. Like, us doing bits in public with no camera, just like to a VIP lounge guy, a host guy, like no embarrassment whatsoever.
No problem.
We're just making each other laugh. And we like I don't really think there's anything anyone could do publicly to me that would like actually embarrass me. But then if there's like a business thing and someone just responds curtly, like with sure, like
What does
I
he
should
want from
die.
me? Why?
I don't know why I exist. I'm worthless. I don't know why am I here? And he's great. Like Todd's awesome. Like we ended up meeting with him and he offered us our first sponsorship on the show. And a residency at Poker Night in America, and we were commentating, and that was like our first gig together. And so like it didn't mean anything, but yeah, we both react very similarly anxious to really specific minor things.
Oopsies,
Like things
did we do that?
Also, I guess like a personal, you mentioned the GPI award being one of like your personal favorite moments. Non-Aceholes related, I would say that getting to play high stakes poker with Phil Hellmuth, Jennifer Tilly, Alan Keating, Arden Scholex on the big game with like PokerStars was a fucking huge highlight for me.
Do you know when those episodes are going to air?
I think they come out either the end of this month or sometime next month. They're very vague about the actual release dates because it's a relaunch, and so with anything with a relaunch, they're trying to make it really good, and there are they don't have anything else to go by because they're restarting something brand new basically. So the dates they didn't give like hard dates. They just said sometime in early 2024, and I'm not really allowed to talk about the results of that because of the stuff I signed, because no spoilers, you have to watch it. But just the fact, just getting to play high stakes poker, like nosebleed poker with like some of my favorite poker heroes was insane. It was just like a dream fantasy come true. Those kind of stakes are things that you put in like a dream journal and you're like, yeah, one day I'll be playing 100, 200 with Phil Hellmuth and Jennifer Tilly. But you don't like think that's going to happen this year when your current stakes are 2-5.
Were you nervous? Were you able to like be in the moment? Like, what did it feel like?
Yeah, honestly, super weird because like I was more nervous about the interview stuff, which like you wouldn't guess that because I do interviews all the time. I'm on camera all the time. I have no problem like giving interviews, but I guess for because I felt like I was representing the poker community or like reg poker players as the loose cannon. I don't know, I just I kind of had a lot of nervous energy where maybe I did some bits that aren't gonna land. I don't know what I said. I kind of blinked out at the whole thing, but right before the game, it's like, all right, you're about to play 100, 200 with this $50,000 free roll and you have to play 150 hands. Are you nervous? Yeah, a little bit, because those are crazy stakes. But Lex was like, right before, he was like, don't worry, like after 2 or 3 hands, it's just going to feel like a normal poker game. Like you won't feel any different than when you're regularly sitting at the table. And he was 100% right. Like after a few hands, it just felt like you're just playing poker
Yeah.
with, and you start to forget that it's like these crazy numbers. Also, when the chips are that big and like that's not a stake you're used to playing, it just feels like a tournament. Like in my head, it was just tournament chips. Like, a lot of times in tournaments, the blinds are 1,000, 2,000, sure, like it's not real
Yeah.
money, but it was real money for them. And I just didn't really think about it that way. But yeah, that was just such a fun time. Not only getting to play those stakes and with cool people, but the actual game itself was super splashy and rowdy, and everybody had big personalities, and I just felt like grateful to be a fly on the wall in that at that table.
Was it
So
harder to
yeah.
win your shootout than it was to actually play the game?
Yes, for sure. Especially since, that ahead of time I even posted, or for those of you who don't know, you had to win a tournament shootout game. It was a free roll shootout, so anybody could sign up, but you had to win a shootout to be eligible to audition for the big game. So yeah, that was like a crazy parlay. I asked my coach like right beforehand, like before that day, like what should I study when it comes to shootout tournaments, and he said to study a lot of heads up spots and three-way spots. Like it's going to get heads up and multi-way pretty fast, and to just like kind of know how to navigate those spots is tricky, like especially when we're not really used to studying a heads up spots, or like we're not used to playing heads up, getting down to
Hmm.
where it's just you and one other person at a tournament. So I did that, and I still was like, I don't feel like I had enough study time, so I'm just gonna go with pure luck. And I wore my Rampage sweatshirt because his like luck box sweatshirt. I'm like, I'm just going pure
Yeah.
luck strategy. At a certain point, when the blinds get high enough, like you are just kind of like trying to win flips, and that's exactly what happened. I was short stack for the majority of that tournament, which is funny because one of the other pieces of advice was like play super tight until it gets down to like 4 or 5 people, and then you can start like being super aggressive. And I didn't. I punted immediately with a bluff, and
Oopsies.
oops, that guy had the nuts. And I was just short stack playing off of sub 20 big blinds for the majority of the tournament. But once it got to heads up, I just kept winning flips. I kept taking people out like right before heads up. I'd say I took the last 3 people out before it got to me and the other guy. And then he still covered me, but I had been studying the like heads up play, and I just knew what hands to limp call, which hands to raise call, which hands to just fold to him and wait for a better spot. And I
Hmm.
think that was super, super helpful. I'm really glad that Jesse Sylvia told me to study those spots, because because to get to heads up and then not know what to do would have been a disaster. But at least I had a little inkling of what to do,
Yeah.
and then it was over, and I won. And the ladies tournament was actually going on right next to us, so it was super fun because as we were heads up, they were on a break, and so I had a little bit of a rail going where I had Kaina and Lindsay and a couple other people, Kristen Deerdoff, and they were all like railing for me, and that was really sweet. Like just to be supported by the poker community, I think was a huge takeaway for me in 2023, because I felt connected to the poker community before, but to have like that much support and all the people that like wanted me to get cast for the big game when they found out I was eligible and like really vocalized it on Twitter, that was just like so heartwarming to see, that kind of support, which I wasn't really expecting. And same goes for Aceholes. Like when we were at WSOP, almost every table I sat at had watched at least a clip of our podcast and was like, I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it. And I didn't expect for there to be like that many people coming up to us and expressing enthusiasm. So huge shout out to the poker community for that. That was such a fun year. What makeup technique are you using right now, Caitlin?
Just like some shadowing and highlights in different
Yeah.
areas. Just try to emphasize different parts of
The
my
whole like
face.
a contour type thing.
Yeah, it's like a contour.
That's nice.
How about
I can't wait
you?
to see what it looks like later when you blend it
Yeah, I
in.
still need to blend. I still need to blend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like this is not the
Yeah,
final product. Um
actually not.
so looking forward to actually let's go over like were there any favorite guests of 23 that you liked that stood out to you or
I
were there
really
like
liked the I really like the episodes with Joey and Kaina because like those
yeah.
are our real buddies, and I think both of the times we filmed, like we ended up hanging out before or after and like breaking bread and
And they were the only ones where
doing the damn things.
we drank in the videos.
Yes, which I know you're not as public with drunk Nikki as I am with drunk Caitlin, so I had to talk you into it.
Facts. Well, Drunk Nikki was very popular on my YouTube channels back in the day, and she says things I wish she wouldn't say sometimes,
For real.
and then it's on the internet forever, and she like is having so much fun saying them, and she tells embarrassing stories about us, and she just gets really rowdy. Her voice gets really loud, and I've been told like sometimes that I talk too loud, and I'm like, that wasn't me, that was Drunk Nikki, but people don't
Hmm.
understand. They get us mixed up. We look very similar. So yeah, I I was very self-conscious after the fact whenever we'd film with her. But I met all of my favorite people with, I mean, Drunk Nikki met them before I did. Like our actual origin story, mine and Caitlin's, was
Yes.
when we were at a Bellagio meetup game with Andrew Nemi and Brad Owen,
And your
and
parents.
my parents were there. Why? We don't know. They don't
Doesn't
live here.
matter.
But they were there, and by the time I saw my parents, I was already wasted, because the other thing about Drunk Nikki is it doesn't take much. It takes literally like a few drinks, and or not even a few, like a half a drink, and she's gone. And I don't know where I get to go. I just disappear into the background. So yeah. But yeah, I would agree with you with Kaina and Joey. They were really fun.
How
Very
about
fun
you?
people. I That's a tough one because everybody that we had on the show was so good, and just I feel like we do a pretty good job at, not to like continue to pat ourselves on the back, but I feel like we do a pretty good job of finding people's strengths and like, working with like what they do best. And like putting them in situations where they would have the most fun and shine. And so I really liked Ryan DePaulo's episode. I think that he had a good flow with our particular vibe. And
Yeah,
then
100%.
I liked let's see. I mean, they were all so good. Like Alan Keating was awesome just because for different reasons. Like he showed like a vulnerable side, and we had like a whole Aceholes Run Good thing where after people
Yeah.
interviewed with us, like J-Bex interviewed with us, and he had never won a trophy, and then right after, and we were making fun of him for that, and we were like, you have to win a trophy now. And then right after, he wins two trophies at the places that we told him to go win trophies at.
Yeah, like Aceholes Run Good is a thing. Poker Face Ash, like maybe a few days
Oh
after
yeah.
recording her episode with us, she got like 18th in one of those like massive WSOP fields. So it's a thing.
Yeah, that was actually her biggest score, she said.
She won like 55K, I think.
That's so sick. She's doing such a good job with all of her. How do you like crush tournaments and keep your vlog going? Like, it's just like her being able to balance all that, I think was something that I wanted to do more of in 2024, which is find balance between the content game and playing poker. And I think she does those
Yeah.
things really beautifully.
Oh,
What guests
100%.
would you want to see more in 2024?
Well, you know I'm obsessed with Jennifer Tilly, and now that you met
Yes.
her, like we got to get the Tills on the
We
pod.
got
Like
to get
that
the
is
Tills
life
on.
goals.
I did bring that up on the big game, and she
Love that.
is interested. So Jennifer, we can't wait to have you.
We can't
Maybe the
wait.
same week that we have the Dean Eggs on. And maybe Phil Galfond will see this and
Yeah.
feel sorry for us and like come back on.
I think you might.
Yeah. We promise to make sure the audio records. I am gonna
uh,
try to salvage like a part of the game that we played because there was some camera audio, but it was really bad. Like it was a ton of background noise, like white
yeah.
noise. There was a huge air conditioner thing going. So, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm gonna try. And then I guess that my last question was, what are your goals for 2024? Poker, show wise, media wise, and otherwise.
So I think my poker goals are not dissimilar from Negrano's. If anyone watched his like I lost 2 million update video, and he's like, I think I played too much volume and I want to play less volume. So that's definitely a goal of mine this year, just as it relates to my volume, is making sure that I'm not putting in too many hours so that the hours I am putting in are like quality.
Yeah.
Um and then I also want to like tighten up a lot of leaks and holes that I have in my MTT game. I'm sort of shopping around for different possible coaches that could help me, especially with like my 30 big blind level post flop. I think I need a lot of help there. And then just like some ICM stuff for when I get deep would be helpful to know more about that, because I am a pretty competent cash player and I have a lot of like confidence in my cash game. But I definitely think that my MTT game has some holes. At least I know where they are, like we're making
Yeah.
like progress. Like I'd rather that be the case. And then like content wise, with Aceholes, I want to like continue to expand into like a bigger market, like find ways to appeal to people outside of poker, and find some like crossover opportunities where we can bring new people in with different bits and things. And then like maybe with my impression videos, experiment with doing like an impression video that's not just like poker people, that's maybe like people
Oh
that a
yeah.
broader audience has heard of,
I like that. I think those are really good goals. And then also
Yeah.
you've been really I admire you for like how consistent you've been with like your spin classes and stuff.
Yeah, so like I gained a little. So when you travel so much, it's just like the battle of the bulge. It's just like, so whenever I'm in town and I'm in Texas, like I cook all of my food. I'm eating only whole foods. I'm eating like a lot of salads and like veggie forward soups, and then like meat that I cook up myself. Like I'm so on top of my game, and I always like take down the bloat, and I'm drinking less, and then I get on the road and the weight creeps back on. So towards the end of the year, I did like 3 to 5. I was like out of town for like probably a third of my last quarter of the year, maybe more than that, maybe like half at least. And so I just like gained back a little weight. So I've been trying to take off the weight that I've gained and then find a way like on the road to live the life that I do here in Austin. Because in Austin, I have like my spin classes that I love and I have my routine, but like to like use the hotel gyms. Like my first sort of test of it will be when I go to the Borgata here at the end of the month. But before I go there, I gave myself a challenge that I need to take 15 exercise classes before I get there.
Oh. Wow,
So
that's a lot.
so in the first 20 days, I want to do of January, do 15 classes. And I did 5 so far. I'm doing one tonight. So I've taken 2 days off. So I only have 3 days off left. And I took my first yoga class in forever on Saturday. And I woke up yesterday and I was like 10 man. Like I was like oil can.
Wow.
Like I could not
Really?
deal.
After
Yeah.
yoga? Huh.
Yoga was, and it was like a chill yoga class, but I just like, I haven't been doing downward dogs and planks and like push-ups and things like that. And my body was just like, owie.
Yeah, it was like more of the strength training aspect to it.
I hate lifting
I agree with
weights.
that. Like at first I thought you were talking about like cuz yoga stretches you, so usually like people feel more loose,
Yeah.
but yeah, the strength training part of it for sure, like holding your own body weight, especially when you haven't been doing like weight training stuff, is definitely challenging, and I definitely feel it when I haven't been
A
doing it,
big
which I
time.
haven't been doing it. I really do want to get more on an exercise and like just healthy, like not like overdoing it or anything, but just consistent. I feel like
Yeah.
consistency was the hardest thing for me last year, just because so much was new. We started Aceholes, and then that led
Mm-hmm.
to Poker Night in America and us commentating there, which led to more hosting things at WSOP. I mean, you and I
Yeah.
commentated at the WSOP ladies final table, and
Mm-hmm.
on top of playing almost a full schedule at WSOP while trying to get all these episodes done. And then I was commentating with Bally's and doing high noon with Poker Go. And then moving into the fall, I started producing for Only Friends, which is another poker podcast, and they're live five
Yeah.
days a week. And, in all of that mix, while trying to keep up with my own stuff and my other podcast that I do with my husband, it was a lot, and it was very hard to keep like a personal routine consistent where it's like, okay, every
Mm-hmm.
day I'm gonna, wake up and do this. I was just exhausted. Most of the time I would wake up and just not have my brain be functioning. So just getting like vitamins was a big deal. And yeah, I think that things have settled down a little bit now where they've become a little bit more stabilized. I'm not going from thing to thing to thing anymore. I mean, I always have a lot of things going, but it's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more consistent where we're doing Aceholes, I do my other podcast, I do Only Friends, and I commentate. And then somewhere in there, I fit in poker play. But,
Mm-hmm.
it's more like I can schedule out everything each week rather than not knowing what I'm going to do the next week.
A
But
big time.
I'd like to like I really wanted to do this last year, but poker media took over in my life. But when it comes to playing the game, I really want to learn mixed games. Like that's been on my bucket list for a little bit of a while now. You want to learn together? I know you know Seven
Well,
Deuce. Yeah,
I
you got
know
a little
seven
bit of a
deuce
head
single
start.
draw. I'm getting in the triple draw. So the draw games, I'm like starting to get a handle on. I just need to learn the stud games so we can learn stud games together.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Stud and Raz.
That would be so fun. We should actually get like Scott Seaver to teach us how to play stud games because I've been trying to get him on the pod and he said he was interested. There was just a scheduling
Yeah,
conflict
that
the
would be
first time I asked him
amazing.
to do something. That would be a good, I mean, now we're just like producing on air, but like we need
Yeah.
to get Scott Seaver to teach us how to play stud. That'd be
You
a
get a
good bet.
little look of on the insight behind Aceholes production. Yeah, because how cool would that be to play? I just want to play a mixed game tournament during WSOP. Like be
Yeah.
competent enough because in 2022 I hadn't even played any tournaments, and I was just like, I just want to be competent enough to like play at a tournament at WSOP and cash, and like that ended up being great, and I final table the 600. So like, what if that happened with a mixed game? Like, what if that happened?
I
Just
think it
saying, it could happen.
can.
I
I
think it
think
happened.
it
It could. I'm putting it in my manifestation journal, so get ready for
can. Me
that.
too.
Um, yeah. So poker wise, mixed games. Production wise, Aceholes, expanding Aceholes, doing lots of cool stuff. Maybe get us a little bit of a sponsorship so we can like have production budget and expand and do new things and new collabs and bigger things, more produced things. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know. The future is bright. We have the world in our hands, and then personal wise, yeah, just get eating more vegetables. I just like need like my
Mm.
brain to function. I realized last year how much sleep means like when it comes to brain function, and exercise isn't just exercise to lose weight. It also like really helps with blood flow and brain function and like
Mm-hmm.
being good in like present in your poker games, which I didn't think about before. I never really connected the two, that everything works together. Your gut, your brain, your fat your digestive system, like
Yeah.
like everything works together. So
And honestly, like that's how I think of exercise too, because it's like, especially with the female body, it's like nutrition is how you lose weight. Like if that were a goal, I know you don't need to lose weight, but for me, like nutrition is how I lose weight. Exercise is for like mental dexterity, and like I do exercise more for like my poker game and my mental health, just like in general, than
yeah.
because I know like if anything, exercise can kind of like get in the way. People talk like because you get more hunger cues, you get more like your body needs more fuel. It's harder to eat less. So
And also just stress. Like I remember when I used
mm,
to over exercise and
yeah,
it achieved like the opposite, because basically my body went into like anxiety survival mode where it's like, okay, shut down all systems, we got to hold on to this fat for like for the season because we're
oh
gonna
yeah,
go hide.
cortisol's a bitch. Yeah,
Yeah, and I didn't really understand all that till I met with a nutritionist a couple of years ago, but it's a big deal, like
yeah, the bitch that
meditation.
ruined canned soup for me. Yeah, I'm familiar.
That
I'm
happened last
familiar.
year.
Now I have to make my own fucking soup.
And you're welcome. And
I know, it's so delicious.
when it comes to 2024, and speaking of manifestation journals,
Mm-hmm.
we thought maybe we should consult with who better to tell us what our future holds than a psychic, a tarot
Yeah,
reader.
a tarot reader for
And
sure.
Caitlin just happened to know one that
I,
she
I
just
met her in a
met.
gay bar. And so my friend Caroline, y'all may know her from like Poker Spaces World and stuff, as Doker Pike. She hosts a LGBT show at Cheer Up Charlie's in downtown Austin. And this tarot reader was just like on the patio, just like available for tarot readings. And I was like, okay, girl, like tell me what. And I asked her about like boys and like who when I was getting dick down next, like the most important stuff. And I'll
Yeah,
probably not be able to help myself and ask her about like when I'm finding my husband again.
yeah.
Because
Well,
it's
that's
just like
definitely something I'm
all I
curious
care
about
about.
knowing for you. Yeah. So now that everybody knows what we would like to see in 2024, let's see what will actually happen in 2024 according to our tarot cards. And our
Let's do
makeup
it.
looks so good. I tried to blend, but
Yeah.
I just don't think it needs it.
No, it like the contour, it makes your nose look bigger, which I think is what you were going for, right?
It was what I was going for to
Yeah.
enhance my Filipino roots. I All right, psychic time. Should we call it something? Let's find out our future.
Future.
All right, we have our tarot reader, J.Marie. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so my first question would be, what do you see happening for Aceholes in 2024?
All right. First, we're going to pick some oracles. First up, we have number 19 here. This one is about like there could be some worries, concerns, maybe around like growing something, expanding something. There's a need to like discuss that, understand where each of you are coming from so y'all can find like a middle ground to move forward. This is just like an energy of getting ahead of something. Nothing to be too concerned about. And then we have grounding with elephant. So this could be like something's probably about to take off. And now's the time to really get your balance around like work life, home life balance, like friendships, like relationships, so that when something takes off, you're grounded.
Ooh.
Heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Oh, I think it's about to take off in some way.
All right.
There's like new love, new fans, new excitement. Now that's
You
cool
like
stuff,
that.
right?
New VIP
I
lounges.
love that.
Yeah.
Might be why you'll have to like ground your energy now, preparing for this and get ahead
Currently
of
grounded.
challenges. Do y'all practice manifestation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Now
We're
this is
huge
making
fans of manifestation.
sense. Same. This is making sense. Something you've been manifesting is coming for sure. It's like be prepared for it with the grounding.
Yeah, we're manifesting a very specific deal that we want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's focus on that. Let's see what's
Our
up.
powers combined.
Hierophant! You're getting it because you've done the work. You know, like, how to do
Yes,
this.
let's go.
You know how to
Should
do
we
this.
announce it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you see any bracelet like energy, like
Ooh, yeah.
gold bracelets, possible miniature Wynn statues.
The lovers?
That's Caitlin's.
We also come back to, like, if we're doing one for, like, a reading for the podcast, it's like people are going to love you and see you. See the
Yay.
podcast for what it is, fun and exciting and entertaining.
Serious, too. We're very serious people. I hope that they get that from us. Will this be the year we're finally taken seriously?
With a dick on your face. 8 of
Never.
Pentacles is a harvest, so that's a yes.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have like major poker success? Like, are one of us gonna win a tournament?
Hidden energy.
So yeah, it's hidden right now.
Yes.
But
They'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
But this could mean like, yeah, like this is a big yeah, like you're definitely both in your power. So you could definitely win. Or get whatever you want. It might be like use your intuition more with the moon. Or like, you know, follow that gut instinct. Maybe take some risks based on the gut instinct with the pool.
It's true. Like, if I'm playing poker and I hear like a little voice in my head that's like, I know theoretically you're not supposed to call, or you think you're like, but like call. Like,
Yeah.
it's coming. Your card is coming. Like, I listen.
Good. Yeah, do that.
Mm-hmm. And then I would like to ask the tarot if I'm going to fall in love this year.
I mean, we already have the lovers. Let's see.
I mean,
Right.
we got some love.
Our podcast.
Or just like dicked down. Like, am I getting dicked down? That would also
Will
be
Caitlin
helpful.
get dicked down this year?
Are you healing from anything emotional?
Maybe.
Are you having any like issues leaving something behind?
Yeah, I'm at like the 100-day no contact point. So
Really?
it's like we're at no contact. Yeah, we've got no contact, but it's like there's still a little, you know.
Yeah, I'm in no contact right now too. Sucks.
Yay! Congrats, guys.
Okay, you might just need to do some more healing before love can come in. There could be another card.
That's fair.
Now we have the Ace of Cups coming out. So yeah, you just have to heal some stuff, probably from your most recent breakup or something, which you have been healing because it's coming out in reverse, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But there could be some things you have to like free yourself from like thought processes or like how you feel about certain things. And then yeah, Ace of Cups. That's the new beginning.
Will we end up in any scary tire shops this year? I would like to avoid those.
It is very possible. Yes.
Let's go. It's meant for us.
It could be more
Where we
than
belong.
It could be several.
Caitlin, buckle up.
A lot of car trouble this
Get
year.
your drinks ready.
Does it say if we're gonna win? Can we ask it if we're gonna win the GPI Award for Best Podcast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even been nominated yet, but let's figure out if we're gonna win.
We're working on our happy to be nominated interview answers.
Y'all got this. The Chariot?
Hell yeah.
Which also, like, this is a huge opportunity that could have you, like, moving or traveling or, like, spreading the word about your podcast. More love. So y'all are really creating a fan base here. Really just, like, expanding that.
Love that for us.
So, I mean, maybe eventually, maybe this year. But definitely, this is a solid yes.
Hell yeah. I love love. I like when people like us. That's so cool.
It's not like a people pleasing, unhealthy like obsession or anything.
Please like me.
Okay, we should do one more question. Wrap it up with one final question.
Okay, so when it comes to like picking up new skills, you know, both of us have talked about like maybe picking up a new skill this year in some niche poker events. And should we focus there, or is that just a waste of energy?
You should definitely do that. There's a lot of money in that.
All right.
Like, a lot of money. Wow. Yeah, this is like winning big. Like, this could even mean having so much money that you can't spend it in one lifetime, so you have to leave it to future generations. Like, this is a huge increase.
You have to come back to Earth to spend the rest? Oh my gosh.
You have to come back here. You can't leave.
Okay. No, I like that.
Would
Hell
you could buy
yeah.
like 20 cars with this kind of money?
Like, all it would take is us learning mixed games, Caitlin. We win a bracelet or 5 bracelets and have like so much money we can't spend it in this lifetime, and then we fund Aceholes and like make it into way bigger things.
100%.
It's a good game plan.
100%. Yeah.
And we're
Everybody
locked
knows
in.
the mixed game events have some of the biggest
So
prizes
much
on
monies.
top.
So much
Yeah,
monies.
so
Well, you're thinking small ball, Caitlin. We win these mixed games
I
event,
am.
and they're like, "Whoa, these girls! They just keep winning. Let's give them $1 million contracts to be ambassadors for our thing because they're such big winners all the time, winning all the things."
Honestly,
Agree with
yes.
that one. This is a celebration, so I say yeah.
I like how positive all of our cards are. I
Same.
was really scared of getting a bunch of tower moments.
We
Just a
love
bunch of tower cards and death cards.
2024 is supposed to be way better than whatever the hell just happened.
All right, I like that. Well, awesome. Our outlook looks great. Thank you so much, J.Marie, for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming on. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And I guess the poker world better watch out because we're coming.
Yes.
Hell
And
yeah.
if you want a personal reading from J.Marie, we'll put her handle in the description. You can find her and get your own tarot reading.
Yeah, thanks for
Personal,
having me on.
private.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, J.Marie.
All right, we'll see everyone next week, and stay safe out there. There's a lot of weird tire shops, I heard.
With Nikki and Caitlin.
Girl, you got a dick on your face. I'm dying.
You have a dick on your face.